So, this meditation is for before an interview. So, I want you to start by just getting in a really comfortable seated position and really good posture. Sit upright. You don't need to force it, but something where you can really feel focused and engaged. Once you're comfortable, I want you to be taking deep breaths throughout this entire meditation. But I want you to start by reminding yourself of all that you already do have without this job prospect. Think about all that makes you feel safe, secure, and grateful for all that you already have. And I want you to think about this conversation that you're having in the next hour or whenever it may be. And remember that it is just a conversation. You're going to meet them, they're going to meet you, you're going to introduce yourself and share about your background. You don't need to embellish, you don't need to prove something, you don't need to be selling yourself. You're explaining who you are, and they're going to do the same. So I want you to just reflect a little bit on how this conversation is really just like any other, and that you're going to show up as yourself, and there's really no need for any other way of framing it. Reflect on that. Remember that you have so much already to bring to the table. Maybe you're not an exact fit for every single thing, but your soft skills and your approach and the way you think and the way you show up and the way you operate and your interest in the discussion and in the work goes such a long way. Plus, all of your varied skills and background and experiences that you have to bring to the table. So reflect on all of the elements that you can bring to the discussion. And reflect on a memory that you have. And maybe it was a project, maybe it was something outside of work. But if there was ever a moment in your life when you felt like you were really crushing it and you were in flow and you were just feeling really intuitive and aligned and like yourself and you were doing a great job, I want you to think about that moment and who you were. Who was that version of you? How and why did you feel that way? How can we tap into that mindset? Can you start to think about where you were, how you felt, and really how you showed up? How did you look? How did you stand? What was your posture like? What was your voice like? Were you really thoughtful with how you communicated? Were you really present and focused? Reflect on that version and that moment of who you were at that time. And think about who you want to show up to this call. There's multiple versions of you. You might have different moods or emotions in any given day or in any given week, and that's okay. But for this particular conversation, what are the traits about you and perhaps the emotional state and the mindset? How can you describe the version of you that you want to bring to this conversation? Remember that you're also there getting to know them and not just them getting to know you. So think about what posture and what approach and what mindset and what level of focus you want to bring to this conversation. And smile and be yourself. You don't ever have to force it. If you're ever not sure what to say, slow down and be honest and be authentic. Let them get to know you, because you're going to be just as much of a human when you show up and start to work there as an employee, and they want to get to know you. And that's very much okay. You're going to do great. Smile and be yourself.